guys? Welcome back to the nest. I hope you're all keeping well. Sorry I'm a bit late with this one. Coursework. I know. It's a bitch, isn't it? But time for another movie reaction from 1973. This is another big one. Have any of you guys ever heard of a movie called The Sting? Yes, it's like a crime film, so it is. Actually, this is the second time we're getting a collab from both Paul Newman and Robert Redford. You know, remember we got that back in 1969 with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. They obviously are a really great pair together, so they are really great partners. So I think they decided to ask them back for this one. Now, for those of you who don't know what it's about, this movie is actually all about cons. I was thinking this movie was going to be about burglars. Like whenever I heard about it, I already knew this movie was a crime film, but I didn't think they were grifters, you know, focusing on cons. The movie is set in 1936. I think it was in Illinois, in Chicago it is set in. No, I forget where it is. I think it's Illinois. It's set in Chicago. I do know it was set in 1936. Yeah, I actually can't believe that 1973 was 50 years ago. You all know what year we're in right now. But yeah, these two grifters, Paul Newman plays a guy called Henry Gondorff, Robert Redford plays a guy called Johnny Hooker, and the villain is played by Robert Shaw. Now, if you guys don't remember, Robert Shaw was actually one of the bad guys in the second James Bond film, From Russia with Love. He was Grant, who tried to kill James Bond on the train. Don't know if you guys remember that. He's playing an Irishman who's a really big con man named Doyle Lonigan. Doyle Lonigan, boy. I actually really like that. The thing I like about Doyle Lonigan is he's so serious. Like, he doesn't smile at all. You know, he doesn't get what he wants. He very nearly screams. A lot of the time, you know, he's just so serious. You don't have to be shouting, you know, to be intimidating. I gotta say, I really enjoyed the script for this movie. Like, just hearing the setup of the cons, so I do. And I did see that this movie is set in chapters, so it is, like, you know, The Wire, The Table, and obviously the very last chapter is called The Sting. So it starts off with Johnny Hooker working for a guy named Luther to con people. You can see by the person who helps out with when a homeless guy attacks. Basically they sell him. If you go, you'll get a lot of money out of this. And then he gets in a taxi. He opens up the cloth with the money in it. The money is nothing but handkerchiefs. Bastards! But, you know, it turns out that Robert, I really need to stop thinking of people of these characters with their actors' names. So it turns out that Johnny is living with Luther and his family. I gotta say, despite being con people, they're a very loving family. They take in Johnny, makes him a member of the family. But the problem is, Luther is wanting to retire, and he's wanting him to be set up with an old partner of his, Henry Gondorff, who Paul Newman plays. I like how in this movie, you know, the two, unlike Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, in this movie that the characters don't really know each other, like they've never met before. But unfortunately, the time whenever Luther decides to retire, Doyle Lonigan actually has Luther killed, so he does. By the way, before I go any further, I'm not impressed that he's wasted a lot of his money that he earned, you know, just to watch a show and you would take a girl out for dinner. Here's one of the rule number ones for life, guys. Just don't gamble. There's also a guy named Snyder who's a corrupt police officer, and he's been after Johnny for a while now because obviously, you know, it's not a good thing. But we all have to do what we need to do to survive. So Henry Gondorff is an old friend of Luther who seems to have a drink problem. Gotta say, really shit first impression. Sorry, I've got my phone out, guys. You know, I'm just trying to remember all the notes. Like, so many notes I've taken down this movie. Like, it's like learning a script. But I do know that, you know, with college it's more important. This is just currently for fun, not my career just yet. You know, obviously I'm doing all this for free currently. Hopefully, you know, this channel will take off in the next few months. I've got a big plan for it. Just you wait and see. But Gondorf does make a promise. He says to him, "I'll help you out, kid." I don't really know if Hooker's much of a kid in this movie. Like he's Robert Redford was about 37 in this movie. Still young enough, younger than Paul Newman, but I don't know if he's that much of a kid. They actually, and it shows how far they go. That massive con, they're going up against 300 grifters. They set up like fake banks and fake bookies. Like I do know what the bookies are. Like people betting on all the horse races. You see anything, kid? You'll let us know. And Lonergan apparently is unique for a con man. Like he's an Irishman who doesn't smoke, doesn't drink, and doesn't chase names. Guys, look, I don't get poker and all those games. Like that's the first game they play to get some money in this movie, poker. I do know that if I audition for a Western movie, I do know there's not many being made right nowadays in the 2020s, but I do know if I go up for a role in a Western movie, I'm going to have knowledge of poker and gin rummy and, no, not gin rummy, but cards and, five finger fillet, but poker. I don't know. I guess it's something I'll have to look up. Like if I've been, a few of my friends have actually played poker, but obviously we don't use money for it. We just do it for the fun. But I just spectate, so I do. But if you want to be a con man, it's what needs to happen. I don't think Gondorf made a good idea of going into the poker game absolutely rat-arsed. Like, he goes in, he's had a lot of drink in him, and he gets Doyle Lonergan's name wrong. It turns out Lonergan doesn't like whenever he gets his name wrong. The name is Doyle Lonergan. You want to get your money? You have another game. And he does manage to send Hooker into the game, and does say, he cheats. I actually wonder how you do cheat with a poker game, and it actually came to me. You get a cloth. That's how it all works. But they managed to travel to, no, it's not New York. They just, no, it was New York. I think that Henry and Johnny met, but they just travelled back to Illinois, so they do. And Snyder, he's really ruthless. He even tries to get involved with the Lonegans, and as one of Lonergan's workers says, he's a dick. I actually don't understand how they have all that money. They obviously they've conned a lot of people. Lonergan is probably the worst. Like I do know that Gondorf and Hooker, they're con men, but they're not like, they're grifters, but they're not like as powerful grifter as Lonergan is. I'm gonna bust that bastard bookie into one place. And Hooker does say that he wants to take the business off him. I don't know, but in the new location, they managed to set up a fake bookie, and there's a cafe that Johnny and Lonergan decide to meet. But they decide to use a phone call rather than just sit down. They decide to just take a phone call and say, "Don't hang around for longer than 4 minutes, because you need to make the bet." And he tells them the name of the horse to bet on, and how much money to use. And he actually goes through with it. Like Lonergan actually does not suspect a thing the whole movie, and I like how he's one of the most powerful grifters in the country, but he does not fall for this shit that is being set up against him in order to take like £500,000 off. Pounds. This is an American, like $500,000 off him, and he actually he still goes through with it, but yeah, in the cafe, it turns out that Johnny is very comfortable there. He goes there a lot, and it's because he has a crush on one of the waitresses there. Gets a wee bit too comfortable with her, because it turns out that there's actually someone trying to kill him, who is working for either Lonergan or Snyder, but he manages to escape. He manages to escape the shooting, and it turns out that it's a person named Celino, but the person who's been sent to kill Johnny gets killed by another guy, who I assume wants to take Johnny out himself, and he manages. I thought that he managed to climb up the stairwells and the walls, but He's just managed to go down the sewer. Can you just imagine how stinking that would be, just going down a sewer just to escape from someone who's trying to kill you? A hired gun. And, you know, he manages to have romance with the girl working in the cafe, and, you know, she does manage to help him escape, you know. This restaurant's taken, but he gets a wee bit too careless, and Snyder has finally managed to catch up with him. And he brings him to the FBI, and he says to him, listen, I need you to let me know where Gondorf is hiding. And if you don't, you're going in. You're spending like 30 years in prison. And it turns out that, you know, Johnny actually does betray Henry. And I do feel bad, because the next morning it turns out that the girl working in the cafe who he had a crush on was Selena, and it was the one who was trying to kill him all along. And she gets killed by a guy. She was trying to kill you, kid. So it turns out that that guy who killed Selena's man was actually working for Gondorf, protecting Johnny. And he says to him, you know, Gondorf told me to look out for you, kid. And I do admit, I did feel bad, because Gondorf has done so much for Hooker, and then he kills, and he's betrayed him. Do you know what I mean? And the big sting is the final chapter, and he gives Lonergan a call and says, place your money in Lucky Dan, £500,000. And, you know, they have taken the piss out of him a couple of times. You can't make a bet once the race starts. Unfortunately, once the bet has been made, the FBI raid the bookies, and the betrayal is revealed whenever the FBI tell Hooker, you can go now, kid. So pissed off about his betrayal, Henry shoots Johnny, kills him, but then Gondorf gets killed as well by the FBI, so they're both killed. And just to get Lonergan out of there, I've lost all my money in there! Come on, you want to get away, there's bodies in there, you don't want to be caught up in the middle of that. He's gone. And I gotta say, guys, I was so amazed by this. The FBI, I don't even know if they were the real FBI, they were actually in on the whole sting. They were also trying to get Lonergan away. They were working with Gondorf and Hooker. And oh my god, I actually thought they were both dead. I actually thought that Hooker had betrayed Gondorf. But I guess I was wrong. You'll actually be amazed by how many twists these movies have. And oh my god, and you know, Gondorf actually did think they were actual FBI, so it turns out that they weren't. And they've managed to get Lonergan away, and they've got £500,000. They are absolutely rich as shit. They're minted. And you know, Gondorf does say to him, you know, you're not taking your share, kid? Nah, I just want to get out of here now. But he does manage to take his share. They leave, and I guess they do become like the most powerful grifters in the country. They've overcome their fear of Lonergan, and I gotta say, that's the most that's the most personality I've seen out of Lonergan the whole movie, is whenever he loses $500,000 and he just gets taken away by Snyder. Oh my god, I cannot believe that. God, I really enjoy Paul Newman and Robert Redford, so I do hope that they've collabed on a lot more movies that I watch soon. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Please tell your friends about this channel. I do know I'm struggling at the minute, and the American Graffiti review or reaction, I was quite disappointed to see it. It's only got 14 views. I don't know why, but please keep supporting this channel, guys. You know, we haven't got long left to go until the big gaming videos start, and I start to make this channel. We have not, I promise you, we have not got many years to go. I've only got 3 more movies to do for 1973. I'm not telling you what they are. And then after that, there's only 3 more years to get through, and then we're on to the big gaming. I promise you guys that I'm going to start editing. I'm going to make this channel a bit more attractive to, you know, subscribers on this channel, whoever comes across it. And look, I appreciate that those people who are watching this and subscribing and telling your friends. I'm trying my hardest. But look, I'm glad you guys are understanding. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. It'll be tomorrow night. Take care of yourselves, guys. I hope you all enjoy the last three movies of 1973. They're gonna be awesome, guys. Comment what you would like to see next in the future years. Like, favorite, turn on notifications, all notifications for this channel. I shall see you in the next video. Love you all.